8年。 佢退咗休嘅聽聞，係啊。咁而家咧就而家我有個高中同學村長喺度，我做過村長，其實我認識佢知都唔多嘅，因為我哋好識佢哋咧，就隔開咗唔好意思啊，招呼唔到我係。
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. We are pleased to begin the installation ceremony of the fourth Rector Magnificus of the University of St. Joseph. In keeping with the dignity of this ceremony, we would appreciate if you would turn off your cell phones or set them to the silent mode. Likewise, and as a sign of respect for each other, we would appreciate if you could wear your face mask at all times. During the ceremony, we will request the audience to stand for the academic procession, followed by the national anthem. Thank you for your cooperation.
尊敬嘅嘉賓、女士、先生們，午安！歡迎各位出席聖若瑟大學第4任校長就職典禮。為讓典禮順利舉行，請各位將手提電話調至靜音模式。因應近期疫情嘅關係，敬請各位保持戴上口罩。典禮中將進行嘉賓行業進場同埋奏國歌儀式。屆時請起立，多謝合作。
Please stand for the academic procession.
請大家起立。
Please remain standing for the national anthem.
奏國歌。
Thank you. Please be seated.
請坐下。
Distinguished guests, on behalf of His Excellency the Most Reverend Stephen Lee Bunson, Bishop of Macau and Cancellarius Magnificus of the University of St. Joseph, we bid you welcome on this historic occasion.
各位嘉賓，本人謹代表聖西大學校監李敦新主教，歡迎大家前來見證呢個歷史性嘅時刻。
The installation of a new university rector is an important event for the university. It offers an opportunity for gratitude and reflection as we see ourselves heirs to a rich tradition of intellectual endeavor. This tradition reaches back centuries to the founding of the College of St. Paul in Macau. We respect the tradition of high regard for learning in China over several millennia, and we are conscious of our roots in the communities of scholars and students who made up the first universities in medieval Christian Europe.
為大學而言，新任校長就職禮係項盛事，佢為我哋提供咗一個感恩同埋反思嘅機會，因為我哋視己為豐富知識傳統嘅繼承人。呢個傳統喺澳門可追溯至幾個世紀前聖保祿學院嘅成立。我哋尊重中國幾千年以來對於學習嘅高度重視，並意識到大學基礎係源於學者同埋學生們，佢哋係中世紀嘅基督宗教歐洲所建立第一所嘅大學。
Before we proceed with today's ceremony, we would like to introduce our guests of honor and invite them to come to the stage.
就職儀式開始前，讓我哋介紹以下主禮嘉賓上台。
We are happy to have with us today and to welcome Her Britannic Majesty's Honorary Consul in Macau, Professor Glenn McCartney, MBE.
駐澳盟榮譽領事賴密卡尼 MBE 教授。
The Vice Consul General of Angola in Macau, Mr. Estanislao dos Santos.
安哥拉共和國駐澳盟領事
The Consul General of Philippines in Macau, Ms. Lilibeth Diapera.
菲律賓駐澳盟總領事 Ms. Lilibeth Diapera。
The Consul General of Mozambique in Macau, Ambassador Rafael Custodio Marquez.
莫桑比克共和國駐澳盟總領事 Ambassador Rafael Custodio Marquez Alves。
The Consul General of Portugal for Hong Kong and Macau, Ambassador Carlos Cunha Alves. It is also our great pleasure to welcome the Deputy Director of Education and Youth Affairs Bureau, Ms. Leung Wai Kit.
教育暨青年局黃樂培副局長。
The Director of the Higher Education Bureau, Mr. Let us also give a warm welcome to the third Rector Magnificus of the University of St. Joseph, the Reverend Father Peter Stillwell.
聖約瑟大學第三任校長薛佩德神父。
And to the new Rector of the University of St. Joseph, the Reverend Professor Stephen Morgan.
聖大學新任校長麥士文教授。
We are also honored and offer the warmest of welcome to the representative of the Commissioner of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China in the Macau Special Administrative Region, Mr. Zheng Xinyo.
尊敬的中华人民共和国外交部驻澳门特别行政区特派员公署专业发展及计划处兼组长。
The representative from the Central People's Government Liaison Office in the Macau Special Administrative Region, Mr. Hong Bo.
尊敬的中央人民政府驻澳门特别行政区联络办公室教育与青年工作部洪波副部长。
We appreciate the presence and welcome the representative of His Excellency the Chief Executive of Macau, the Secretary for Social Affairs and Culture, Ms. Ao Yang-yu.
尊敬嘅行政長官歐陽瑜司長。
Today, we are also graced with the presence of His Excellency Stephen Lee Bunsung, Bishop of Macau and Chancellor of the University of St. Joseph, to preside over the ceremony.
我哋歡迎聖約瑟大學校監李賓生主教主持就職典禮。
Please be seated.
請各位就座。
We also welcome the presence of our fellow rectors and representatives of higher education institutions in Macau, as well as Bishop Emeritus Jose Lai, with the Cathedral Chapter, represented by Canon Lo Yuk Seng, our dear donors and benefactors, and members of the Catholic Foundation for Higher Education.
我哋亦都好感謝澳門各所高等院校嘅校長同埋代表，榮休主教黎鴻升主教、主教座堂永土司鐸團代表羅玉成神父、親愛嘅捐贈者同埋善長、天主教會大學暨高等教育基金成員同各位嘅來賓。
And last but not least today, we welcome all the members of the University of St. Joseph here today, staff, past and present, students, alumni, friends and relatives of the university.
此外，我哋亦都歡迎聖約瑟大學所有嘅成員。
And now that we have introduced our guests of honor, allow us to introduce ourselves. My name is Joshua, and this is Teresa. We will be your MC today.
咁容許我哋介紹我哋自己 ，Joshua 同埋 Teresa， 我哋今日係你哋嘅司儀。
To all of you present today, and to those who are following the ceremony live in faraway places, thank you very much for making the time in your busy schedule to attend this historic moment, the installation of the fourth rector of the University of St. Joseph.
各位在座或者身處遠方觀看典禮直播嘅，我哋都非常感謝各位喺百忙之中抽空出席聖約瑟大學第四任校長就職典禮。
As we mark the beginning of a new era of leadership at the University of St. Joseph, let us at first invoke the help of the Almighty. We now invite the chaplain of the University of St. Joseph, Father Daniel Ribeiro, to lead the prayer.
喺標誌着聖約瑟大學領導新時代嘅開始，讓我哋祈求上主嘅幫助。現在有請我哋嘅校牧柴浩東神父領禱。
Please stand.
請大家起立。
Please let me call you as brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, we are all gathered here on this happy occasion for celebration. But before we begin, let us pause for a moment to pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Let us beseech our Lord God to grant his assistance, protection, guidance, graces, and blessings to our Reverend Deacon Stephen Morgan, the new administrator of St. Joseph University, from the commencement of their mission and throughout all the years ahead. Let us pray. O God, as we are entering this time in the life of St. Joseph University, refresh us with a new vision and help us to meet well all duties and responsibilities that come to us. May we show hospitality to our new rector, Reverend Deacon Stephen Morgan, and welcome him with our support and prayers. Fill him, O Lord, with the knowledge of your will in all wisdom and understanding. We beseech you for the touch of the Holy Spirit, that his heart may yield to you in obedience, reverence, and confidence. Endue our hearts with gratitude and love for the blessings of this new ministry that will not only give joy and comfort, but also by example and influence will lead others to love and serve you. Impel us constantly through this new ministry to gracious acts of kindness done to others in the Master's name, and for his sake, that we become strength to the weak, hope to the despondent, joy to the sorrowing, power to the tempted, so that we may so live that through us your kingdom may in part come and your will more fully be done among all people. Grant that your servant, Reverend Deacon Stephen Morgan, may find his strength and dedication from the leading of your Holy Spirit. We thank you for the new opportunities that are ours. Help us to meet them with courage and trust in you. May we be filled with the gratitude of the Savior Jesus, who lifts us from the burden of sin and anxiety, and gather this family about yourself and protect us. In the name of one who calls us beyond ourselves, Jesus, our Savior and our Lord. Let us also ask the intercession of the Lady of Fátima by praying. Hail Mary, full of grace,
the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and the hour of our death. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please be seated.
請大家坐下。
Thank you, Father Daniel. The inauguration of a rector is a signal event in the life of a university. It provides an opportunity for the entire university community to take stock and to join the new rector in creating a vision for the future of the institution. We now invite the Chancellor of the University of St. Joseph, His Excellency Bishop Stephen Lee, to deliver the Chancellor's address.
校長就職典禮讓整個大學回顧及與新任校長攜手，為學校創建未來嘅機會。現在讓我哋有請校監李主教閣下致歡迎辭。
尊敬嘅澳門行政長官代表、社會文化司歐陽瑜司長，尊敬的中央人民政府駐澳門特別行政區聯絡辦公室代表洪副主任，尊敬的中華人民共和國駐澳門特別行政區特派公署代表鄭署長，高等教育局局長蘇局長，教育暨青年局代表梁副局長，同埋我哋 Our beloved and honourable Most Reverend Bishop Emeritus Yusei Honourable representatives of the diplomatic corps accredited to Macau, dear fellows, rectors and colleagues of the higher education institutions in Macau, dear benefactors and scholarship donors, distinguished guests, faculty, students, and staff. Today is a day of some significance in the history of the University of St. Joseph. Today, we are gathered here to witness the installation of Reverend Professor Stephen Morgan as the fourth rector of USJ. Professor Morgan came to Macau a little under 2 years ago to become Dean of our Faculty of Religious Studies. He is a permanent deacon of the Catholic Diocese of Portsmouth in England. But he has been insisting to us, as he never loses an opportunity to remind us that he is not English, but Welsh. He previously worked in Hong Kong and London before spending 15 years as the economist of the Diocese of Portsmouth and as an academic in the University of Oxford and the Merivale Institute. He's a gifted theologian, a natural teacher, an able administrator, an inspiring leader, and a dedicated servant of the church. This combination of talents quickly became obvious to me and many others as he settled into his life here. When we began looking for a new rector for USJ, Deacon Stephen's name quickly emerged as the preferred candidate. I'm grateful to him, to his bishop, and most of all to his wife Caroline for consenting to this appointment for him to come to Macau. The years ahead are filled with promise for the University of St. Joseph. It is an institution which uniquely expresses a key aspect of Macau as a place of cultural, intellectual, and religious encounter. In its genuinely international and intercultural character, USJ is a place of witness to a genuine Christian humanism, which is an importance out of all proportion to its size. As part of the family of Catholic education establishments, alongside the Catholic nurseries, kindergartens, primary and secondary schools, USJ is committed to the service of the people of Macau, of China, of the wider world, grounded in the firm conviction of the dignity and the sacredness of the human person, loved, sustained, and redeemed. I know that Deacon Stephen is acutely aware of the responsibility for this vision that is being placed upon him as he becomes rector of USJ. I know that he can rely upon the support of the grace of God, all of us here today, and the organizations we represent. I promise him too that he will be always in my prayers and the prayers of the whole Diocese of Macau. I want finally to speak about the retiring rector. Over the last 4 years, it has been my privilege and pleasure to work with a man who is a priest, a scholar, and a teacher to his fingertips. In his 8 years as rector, first with my predecessor, Bishop Yusei, and then with me, Father Peter Stillwell has guided the University of St. Joseph with a gentle determination that cannot fail to impress anyone who has witnessed it. When he became rector, the university had been experiencing a very troubled few years. there has been the lasting achievements of Father Peter, that those times now seem only a distant memory. In some ways, it is possible to see Father Peter as the second founding rector of USJ. But his influence in Macau extends beyond the university. The Portuguese community, and indeed the wider Portuguese-speaking community, has also felt the presence of a kind, wise, and devoted priest and intellectual figure. They will particularly feel a sense of loss when pandemic measures permitting his return to Lisbon this summer. Father Peter, both as Chancellor of the University and the Bishop of the Diocese of Macau, I want to thank you for all that you have done, seen and, as I know, unseen, as Rector of the University and as a valued co-worker in this corner of the world of the Lord's vineyard. Please assure that you have a special place always in the heart of all at USJ and the Diocese of Macau. Thank you once again to Father Peter. And then finally, I would like you to have a big applause for Father Peter for his contribution to USJ and Macau. Thank you very much. I'm sure all of you would keep Father Peter very much in our heart and in our prayers. May God bless you all.
Thank you, Bishop Lee, for your warm welcome and inspiring words. Please be seated.
感謝李主教非常具啟發性嘅演辭，請主教就座。
As the Chancellor Bishop Lee just said, we are all witnesses to the enormous effort made by the University of St. Joseph to make the riches of a first-class education available to everyone from all walks of life and backgrounds.
正如李主教剛才所講，我哋見證住聖若瑟大學為不同階層同背景嘅人提供一級嘅教育。
Our university, under the leadership of Rector Father Peter Stillwell, has discovered a true formula for excellence. For higher education, that formula is made up not only of brilliance and hard work, but with the goal of maximizing the potential of every one of our people, whether they are students, faculty, or staff. That goal is alive in the air here today, in the spirit of this gathering, in the person of Rector Father Peter Stillwell.
喺薛佩德校長嘅領導下，大學發現追求卓越嘅真正秘訣。為高等教育而言，秘訣唔單止係才華同努力組成，更需要充分發揮每個人嘅潛能。呢個包括學生、教師同埋員工。而呢個目標就喺今日嘅典禮裏邊，喺校長嘅支持下實現出嚟。
Father Peter, the successful growth of our university is the direct result of your dedication, immense hard work, never-failing commitment, and trust in people. You are an inspiration to us all. Your abilities and huge contributions are and will be an important part of our continued success.
薛佩特校長，大學嘅成功發展，正正係校長你嘅奉獻、艱辛嘅努力、不斷嘅投入，以及對人嘅信任而得嚟嘅成果。你嘅能力同貢獻啟發咗我哋，成為我哋持續成功嘅重要一環。
To recognize the contribution that you have made in helping the University of St. Joseph achieve such high goals, we would like to present you with a small token of appreciation.
為咗答謝薛佩德校長為聖若瑟大學實現遠大目標所作出嘅貢獻，我哋為校長準備咗一份禮物。
Father Peter's doctoral thesis was on the theological significance of the human condition in the work of the Portuguese poet Rui Sinati. The gift from the university to Father Peter is a signed first edition of Sinati's 1941 work, Nós Não Somos Deste Mundo. The presentation box was made by our Faculty of Creative Industries and bears the inscription, "From the Chancellor, staff, and students of the University of St. Joseph, Macau, with gratitude on the occasion of the retirement of the Reverend Professor Peter Stillwell, as the third rector of the university, 2012 to 2020.
士布德神父嘅博士論文係關於葡萄牙詩人 Reginati 作品中探討人類處境嘅神學意義。大學為薛神父準備咗嘅禮物，正係 Reginati 喺1941年創作嘅 Nós não somos deste mundo 初版嘅簽名本，而禮盒則由創意產業學院製成，上面刻有由聖若瑟大學校監、教職員同學生競爭，慶祝薛佩德校長榮休，並衷心感謝佢喺2012至2020年擔任大學第3任嘅校長。
May we invite the Chancellor of the University of St. Joseph, His Excellency Bishop Lee, to present the souvenir.
有請校監李主教致送紀念品。
Thank you. Please be seated.
請大家就座。
Now let us proceed to the formal ceremony of conferring the authority and symbols of high office on the new rector.
現在讓我哋進行新任校長就職儀式。
The ceremony of investiture has 6 parts: the reading of decree of appointment, the oath of office, the signature, the installation in the rector's chair, the bestowing of the university charter and the medal of office, and the confirmation of investiture.
就職儀式分為6個部分：宣讀委任狀、宣誓就職、簽字、新舊校長移交坐席、授予大學憲章同埋辦公室勳章，以及領職確認。
The decree of appointment will now be read by the Diocesan Chancellor, Father Cyril Law.
現在有請教區秘書長劉偉傑神父宣讀委任狀。
委任狀根據聖若瑟大學章程第1章第3條第3款括弧3項賦予的職權及根據章程嘅第16條第3款括弧1項嘅諮詢後，本人特此宣布於2020年3月舉行嘅天主教會大學暨高等教育基金委員大會之以下表決，委任麥士文執事教授為聖若瑟大學校長。此任命自2020年5月23日起生效。屆時，麥教授將被任命為校長，任期為4年。委員會主席李賓生主教。O decreto da nomeação. Com a autoridade conferida a esta fundação pela alínea terço do número 3 do artigo 3º dos Estatutos da Universidade de São José e após as consultas estipuladas na linha 1 do número 3 do artigo 16º destes mesmos Estatutos, declaro que o Conselho Geral da Fundação Católica para o Ensino Superior Universitário reuniu-se no 7º dia de março de 2020 e determinou, por voto secreto, nomear o reverendo professor Stephen David Morgan, reitor da Universidade de São José. A nomeação entrará em vigor em e a partir de 23 de maio de 2020, data em que o professor Morgan tomará posse como reitor por um período de 4 anos. O presidente do Conselho Geral, Dom Stephen Lee Bansang. Decree of Appointment. I hereby declare that with the authority conferred on this foundation by paragraph 3, bracket 3 of Article 3 of the Charter of the University of St. Joseph, and after the consultation stipulated in paragraph 3, bracket 1 of Article 16 of that Charter, the General Council of the Catholic Foundation for Higher Education met on the 7th day of March of 2020 and voted to appoint the Reverend Professor Stephen David Morgan as Rector of the University of St. Joseph. The appointment shall be effective on and from the 23rd of May 2020, when Professor Morgan shall be installed as Rector for a term of 4 years. President of the General Council, Bishop Stephen Lee Bansang.
We now invite Reverend Professor Stephen Morgan, in the presence of the Chancellor of the University of St. Joseph, His Excellency Bishop Stephen Lee, to take the oath of fidelity prescribed by the universal law of the Church, invoking God to act as witness to his oath and of his sincere intention to fulfill that promise.
有請麥士文教授喺聖大校監李主教閣下及上主嘅見證下，真誠地宣讀由教會法典訂定嘅信德宣誓詞。
I, Stephen David Morgan, in assuming the office of Rector of the University of St. Joseph, promise that in my words and in my actions I shall always preserve communion with the Catholic Church. With great care and fidelity, I shall carry out the duties incumbent on me toward the Church, both universal and particular, in which, according to the provisions of the law, I have been called to exercise my service. In fulfilling the charge entrusted to me in the name of the Church, I shall hold fast to the deposit of the faith in its entirety. I shall faithfully hand it on and explain it, and I shall avoid any teachings contrary to it. I shall follow and foster the common discipline of the entire Church, and I shall maintain the observance of all ecclesiastical laws, especially those contained in the Code of Canon Law. With Christian obedience, I shall follow what the bishops, as authentic doctors and teachers of the faith, declare, or what they, as those who govern the Church, establish. I shall also faithfully assist the diocesan bishops, so that the apostolic activity exercised in the name and by the mandate of the Church may be carried out in communion with the Church. So help me God and his holy Gospels, on which I place my hand. Amen.
The Acta of the Catholic Foundation for Higher Education, recording this appointment, will now be signed by the President of the Foundation and Chancellor of the University, Stephen Lee Bansang, before the Reverend Rector Stephen Morgan signs to confirm his consent to the terms of appointment.
天主教會大學暨高等教育基金主席及大學校監李賓生主教簽署委任狀，以及麥士文教授簽名及同意任命條款。
Thank you. The Chancellor leads the new rector to his chair. This symbolic act recalls the ancient practice whereby the rector, as the chief teacher of the university, presides over its professors.
校監現在帶領新任校長就坐在校長座席。呢個儀式讓我哋聯想到古時大學首席教師如何管理該大學嘅教授。
We now have the pleasure of inviting the Chancellor of the University of St. Joseph, His Excellency Bishop Stephen Lee, to give the charter of the University of St. Joseph to and bestow the Rector's Medal of Office upon Reverend Professor Stephen Morgan. The giving of the charter signifies that the Rector is to govern the university in accordance with the charter of the university, and to wear the Medal of Office signifies the Rector's authority when he represents the university at congregations and on official occasions that require the wearing of academic regalia.
現在我哋邀請聖大校監李主教閣下向麥士文教授頒發聖約瑟大學章和校長辦公室勳章。憲章頒發標誌住校長將根據憲章去管理大學，而勳章嘅佩戴則表明校長喺代表大學出席公開場合同埋學術盛事時嘅權威。
Thank you. The Chancellor of the University of St. Joseph, His Excellency the Most Reverend Bishop Stephen Lee Bunsung, will now confirm Reverend Professor Stephen Morgan as the fourth Rector of the University of St. Joseph.
聖約瑟大學校監李主教閣下現在將確認麥士文教授為聖約瑟大學第四任校長。
By the power vested in me by the Catholic Foundation for Higher Education of Macau, I, Stephen Lee Bunsung, Bishop of Macau, Grand Chancellor of the University of St. Joseph, confer upon you the title of Rector Magnificus of the said University of St. Joseph, with all the duties, obligations, rights, dignities, and privileges pertaining to that office.
Congratulations. Let us all stand and give a big round of applause to the fourth Rector of the University of St. Joseph.
現在讓我哋大家起立，為聖約瑟大學第四任校長熱烈鼓掌。
Thank you. Please be seated.
請大家就座。
Due to the current pandemic situation, the Rector of the Universidade Católica Portuguesa, Professor Isabel Gil, unfortunately could not be here today. Nevertheless, she would like to share a message with us all.
由於疫情嘅關係，葡萄牙天主教大學校長 Professor Isabel Gil 未能出席是次嘅典禮，故此 Professor 特意錄製一段短片以表示祝賀。
Bishop Lee, authorities of the Special Administrative Region of Macau, outgoing Rector Father Peter Stillwell, incoming Rector Professor Stephen Morgan, and USJ's academic community. This is certainly a proud moment and a proud day for USJ and for Macau when a new rectoral team is inaugurated at a thriving university in the fastest growing higher education environment in the world. And it is also an uncanny moment in world history. Because of COVID, it is a watershed moment for institutions to rethink what they do, how they do it, who they serve, and their future needs. UCP is delighted to have been associated with the development of USJ. And in this moment of transition, I wish to express my best wishes to the new rector and assure him that we will continue to work together in the mission of providing students with quality-driven and ethically responsible education. We are committed to continue our staff exchange, our research, and the curriculum development with a sister university in a corner of the globe where Portugal and China have developed a long-standing and fruitful cooperation. Professor Morgan is certainly the right man for the circumstances, and I look forward to continuing to work with him. On behalf of UCP, our Board of Trustees, and our Chancellor, I also wish to thank the outgoing Rector, Father Peter Stillwell, for the extraordinary work at USJ for his service to the community and to the university, and for leading the university into maturity. With Portuguese diplomacy, British flair, and respect for Chinese culture, he has managed to build strong bridges between our institutions. Mkoisai. Today, my only regret is that due to COVID travel restrictions, I'm not able to participate in the celebration. Global mobility is part of what a university represents, and most certainly a Catholic university. Sharing knowledge, just as sharing stories, will take our staff and students across borders and perpetuate our network. And while we cannot travel, technology will have to do the job. From UCP's community, congratulations. Até breve. Muitos parabéns.
Thank you, Rector Professor Isabel Gil.
非常感謝 Professor Isabel Gil 校長。
We now have the pleasure of inviting the fourth rector of the University of St. Joseph, Reverend Stephen Morgan, to deliver his inaugural address.
現在我哋有請聖約瑟大學第4任校長麥士文教授發表就任演說。
Praised be Jesus Christ, now and forever. Your Excellency, Bishop Lee, Madam Secretary, honoured guests, I stand before you this afternoon with a profound sense of honour at having been appointed Rector of the University of St. Joseph. A sense of honour, but chiefly one of gratitude. My thanks, under God, are first to Bishop Lee and the Catholic Foundation for Catholic Higher Education in Macau for appointing me. And then to my own bishop, Bishop Philip Egan of the Diocese of Portsmouth, for giving permission for me to continue to serve outside my diocese. Thank you too to Professor Isabel Gil for her kind encouragement in that generous message. I'm grateful to my colleagues in the Faculty of Religious Studies and to the students of that faculty for the privilege of having been their dean and for the prayerful support and encouragement they have given me. There are many who, because of the pandemic, cannot be here today, and to whom I also owe a debt of gratitude. My friends, of course, but primarily my family who will be watching this in the UK. My mother and father will, I hope, have been able to get the technology to work as they shelter in lockdown at home in Britain. To them I say, in the language of our little land of Wales, Diolch yn fawr iawn am bopeth. Thank you very, very much for everything. My 3 fine children, too, deserve my gratitude, not least for putting up with my failings as a father. Peter, Sophia, and Hugo, remember that you all carry the name of St. Francis Xavier, who so much wanted to come to China, and who died so close to here on Sangchuang Island. Children, ask him to guard and guide you and intercede for me. Most of all, however, I want to thank my wife, Caroline. How I wish you could be here at my side today. CJ, it was 30 years ago tomorrow that you agreed to marry me, and know that without your belief in me and your loving support across those years, I simply would not be standing here today. Thank you, my darling girl. It's not my intention to detain you this afternoon any longer than is absolutely necessary. The main business of this afternoon's installation has already taken place, with the various parts of the installation ceremonies that have been so meticulously planned by Mrs. Paula Motta and her team, and which have been so well explained to us by our MCs. I do, however, want to say 1 or 2 things that I think are important. In assuming the office of Rector, I am acutely conscious that anything that I'm going to be able to achieve will be built on the foundations laid by Father Peter. I want to put on record here and now my thanks, alongside those of all at USJ, to him for everything he has managed to achieve over the last 8 years. I also want to add my personal gratitude for the many kindnesses he has shown me since I joined the university, and for his openness and wisdom during the last 2 months as we have prepared for the handover. As some of you know, my doctorate concerned the theology of the development of Christian doctrine in the work of St. John Henry Newman. What impressed itself most strongly on my mind during that work was the fine balance that Newman sought to establish between continuity and change. Continuity of identity, of essence, and change always understood as being at the service of that continuity. So I hope it will be for me as rector. Change there will be, of course. That always happens with a change of leadership. But that change will always be undertaken with the intention of preserving and strengthening the identity and mission of the university. The identity and mission of the University of St. Joseph are not entirely things we determine for ourselves. They are in many ways given to us. They're given to us in the first place by the Catholic Church. We're a Catholic university, born from the heart of the Church, a heart that beats with the Eucharistic love of Christ and finds its expression in the service of all, especially the poor and the marginalized. Our Chancellor, who is Chancellor precisely because he is the Bishop of Macau, the chief shepherd of the Catholic Church here, has asked me to ensure that this Christ-like service remains our first priority in everything we are and everything we do at USJ. Our identity and mission are also given to us by our students. In all that we do, we're conscious that our particular service is in the education and formation of the men and women who choose to come to this place. They come to us with an expectation that their time here will change their lives for the better. For our part, we know that when they graduate from USJ, we will have done everything in our power to ensure that they are men and women of the highest personal integrity, who can think rigorously, creatively, and critically, who instinctively work collaboratively, who value engagement with those of other cultures, nationalities, and beliefs. People who seek always to move beyond mere proficiency to mastery of their chosen discipline. And men and women who can operate with ease in English and at least one other language. Our identity and mission are given to us by location too. We're a Catholic university in Macau, and we're honored, privileged indeed, to receive such significant support from the government of Macau. Recently, the chief executive, the Honorable Mr. Ho Yat-seng, delivered his first policy address, which set out his vision for the future of higher education here. I would ask Ms. Secretary Ao Yung to convey our thanks to him, first for sending you as his representative to this ceremony, and secondly for the clear, well thought out and exciting direction he set for the universities in that policy address. Please assure him, Madam Secretary, that we at USJ welcome and warmly embrace that vision. Our identity and mission are given to us by our wider context too. The University of St. Joseph is a Catholic university in and of China. In all we do, we must aim to foster a greater knowledge and genuine love of China in our students. We're also a university with roots deep in the history of the Portuguese-speaking world. With our sister university, the Catholic University of Portugal, we're committed to deepening and broadening the encounter, already half a millennium old, between China and the Lusophone world. Although these aspects of our identity and mission are given to us and received as a pearl of great price, a treasure held upon a sacred trust, we're not mere passive recipients. We have a responsibility to develop our identity and mission according to our strengths and our prudential wisdom. Our staff, academic and administrative, know well and are deeply committed to this, and I can do no more than promise them all my untiring efforts as a colleague and as a servant leader, as together we undertake this work. But no one individual can lead a university without the support and collaboration of a strong team. Dr. Raymond Lamb has been administrator of the university for the last 2 years, and in his quiet, unassuming way has transformed the manner in which many of the offices of the university function. I've asked him to take up a new role in the university as Director of Operations. This will be particularly important as we aim to make the most of our physical and virtual environment over the next few years. And I've asked Dr. Alejandro Salcedo to become the administrator in succession to Dr. Lamb. Professor Rochelle Ge has done a remarkable job as Vice Rector. She cannot be with us today since she is at home in Jiangsu province supporting her parents. She's asked to be allowed to return to full-time academic work in her faculty to develop her teaching and research. Professor Ge is a very persuasive woman, and reluctant to lose her from the rectorial team as I am, I've acceded to her request. I will be seeking to appoint a Vice Rector to take up her responsibilities, especially those related to our institutional relationships with the Government of Macau, the Liaison Office, and with the national government. And I hope to be able to announce that appointment very soon. As we strengthen and develop our postgraduate teaching, which so many within the university and outside have identified as a particular priority and strength, I will in time be seeking to appoint a Vice Rector to lead research. I cannot adequately express how grateful I am to Vice Rectors Professor Álvaro Barbosa and Keith Morrison for their having agreed to provide the necessary element of continuity in the senior leadership of USJ in this time of change. Over the last few months, we've had long, wide-ranging, often challenging conversations about the way in which we can take the university forward over the next few years. I'm glad that they will continue as Vice Rectors. Professor Barbosa with particular responsibility for internationalization and strategic development, Professor Morrison leading on academic affairs and as the university's registrar. I've trespassed on your patience long enough today. For now, I would simply say again how honored I am to be the fourth rector of USJ, how conscious I am of the size and scale of the task ahead, and how much I will need the support of family and friends, colleagues and students in their work. If you are one who prays, storm heaven with your prayers, so that God might grant me, grant us, grant USJ all the graces we need for this work he has committed to us. And if you are one who does not pray, think kindly of us at the University of St. Joseph. Know that we are people of goodwill, and know, too, that we are conscious of and grateful for your friendship. Thank you.
May we invite the Rector, Reverend Stephen Morgan, the Chancellor, Bishop Lee, and the Secretary, Ms. Aoyongyu, to stand for a group photo.
現在有請麥士文校長、李主教校監以及歐陽瑜司長上前合照。
Please remain standing. And may we now also invite the members of the new rectoral team for a group photo.
請各位留步，現在亦都有請新一屆校長團隊上前一同合照留念。
Thank you, and please be seated.
多謝，請各位就座。
The installation of a rector is a significant event in the life of a university. Apart from congratulating him and his team, it provides an opportunity for the entire university community to recommit itself to the fulfillment of the university's core missions of teaching, research, and service to the community, nation, and world. Let us enthusiastically embrace this partnership in taking the University of St. Joseph to new heights of achievement.
校長就職典禮除咗祝賀新任校長同團隊外，為整個大學團體提供咗一個契機，實現大學對社區、國家以及世界嘅教學、研究、服務嘅機會。讓我哋熱切咁樣找緊呢個機會，使聖約瑟大學繼續取得更新嘅成就。
As today's ceremony comes to an end, we once more would like to thank everyone for their presence here today. You are all invited and welcome to share an aperitif cocktail, which will be offered outside the auditorium. Thank you, and may God bless us all.
今天嘅典禮即將結束，喺禮堂外我哋準備咗小酒會，歡迎大家享用。多謝今天大家嘅出席，願上主保佑我們。
Please stand for the departure of our guests from the stage.
現在請大家起立，讓我哋歡送台上嘅主禮嘉賓。